Yo, what's up, everybody? In this video, we kind of just went over the league draft again. I know the last time we did this, the audio was not good, and that was my fault. So for this one, we kind of wanted to correct it a little bit and do like a faster paced version of what we did last time. Sadly, one of us still did have bad audio, and that was basically just because their computer wasn't working, so they had to try to use their phone, blah, blah, blah. But two of us still ended up being cool and doing it, and there's some dart throws at the end of this video, so please check it out. Thank you very much. Have a good one. All right, so I don't even actually didn't even think I talked about the 101 when we did this last time, because I went over it and I didn't say anything about it, so that's actually kind of perfect.
Wait, you did not. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
can I pick?
I
Like,
was like,
did
hey,
you
let's
just
just
have
start
to
with you,
do
Brown. Fuck it, you know.
it?
But
That was a selfless play. I appreciate it.
um, I tried to trade it. It didn't really like. I had a few takers, but I don't know. In the end, I just it was either gonna really be Justin Jefferson, and even now, like I'm still kind of debating if I wanted like should I have went Jefferson. But at the end of the day, I got one of the like basically top three quarterbacks in the league. He's younger than Allen and Mahomes. Not much younger than not really much younger, but a few years. So that leaned my way a little bit. And that's where it leads to you and Patrick Mahomes. And as far as Patrick Mahomes, I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. That's why you drafted him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even think you dropped that far to me. So I
Yeah,
was,
Tyreek Hill, I mean, definitely wasn't projected to be there. I thought he would have, but I mean, if he wanted wide receiver, he would have. I mean, he could have just went Lamb, and you still could end up with him anyway. So
Lamb or Chase.
yeah, which Lamb
Yeah,
wouldn't have been a bad choice for him there.
no, like I was even thinking of Lamb too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when it was my turn because I thought maybe I wasn't getting Patrick Mahomes, but yeah, when he fell, I definitely took him. So you can't go wrong. He's gonna be in the league 10 more years at least, and he's gonna be producing at a high quality top 10 QB. Like it's like even the down years, he's gonna be right there. So
Hell yeah.
I'm excited, especially for this year because he has more weapons. So I'm excited.
This is true. And then the 112 and 201, you got your star receiver, Chase McCaffrey, and can't really be too disappointed in that again, especially again McCaffrey.
Not at all. Very excited about the career that I have. Being able to build around a young wide receiver and a stud running back. Great.
Just seeing it, Brett. There's an echo coming. I think it's the TV or
Oh
something
shit,
from
that's
your
my
room.
bad. Hold on, let me turn that
It's all
off
good.
now. All right, cool, cool, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Um, where? Yeah, all right, you was talking McCaffrey. Cool, cool. And then, yeah, we were talking. We said this last time. I think what between Hall and Gibbs, and even if Gibbs was there, you would have went Hall anyway.
Yeah, I think Giz was there. Oh no, never mind. He took second.
Yeah,
That's my
yeah,
fault.
yeah,
Yeah, I probably would have gone Brees Hall
yeah.
against somebody that fell. I originally was gonna maybe take a receiver, and then I see him there, and it's kind of hard not to take him like in the middle of the second round, even as a running back. So yeah, I just got me some Brees Hall,
I mean,
and like I said,
208 for Hall is pretty good value, I say.
yeah, like he has the potential of being top running back this year, even with like Bijan and Gibbs there. So yeah, and McCaffrey. So yeah,
I,
he's gonna be. Plus, he doesn't have that much competition, so it's kind of his backfield.
yeah, I think that's what we said last time is kind of Brees' backfield, and I think me and Dan both agreed Brees Hall was the pick there. I think. Did you say that, Dan, or were you on Gibbs?
Um, I I believe Paul was the pick there.
Okay, all right. Yeah, then me, Puka Nakua, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels was pretty much the hype pick there for me because yeah, he could have easily won the second round and not have been there. And if he wasn't, I would have went Murray. I think I would say over Prescott or anybody else. And yeah, I think quarterback was the play there regardless. So And then, yeah, Jonathan Taylor for you, doubling down on your running back sitch. And yeah, ends up being 2 stud running backs.
Yeah, totally threw out 90% of my mock drafts with that one because I didn't think I was drafting 2 running backs and a quarterback to start out. But here we are. So, but again, yeah, JT falling to like middle of the 3rd round, I think is definitely a value. So, something I always like to have is a filled up running back room. So this is uh this is something I'll get for this dynasty league, and like I said, now yeah, I can start to focus on the other positions.
Yeah, and I think what I last time I agreed. I think I would have went Taylor there, but Dan, I'm pretty sure said you'd go Barkley there.
Yeah, I probably would have went Saquon there. I like his situation just better being in Philly.
Yeah, you were saying you like just the team better.
Yeah.
I feel that. All right, so yeah, you do the same thing and double down on your running back situation as well, and grab Kyron, and following up with him, you get Goff. So yeah, you pretty much do the same thing. You, Bernie, you, Brown, Bernie, all 3 of you pretty much did the same thing, and you snagged the top tier running backs almost right away.
Yeah. I just feel like running backs are more, there's less of them available as opposed to wide receivers. There's just a broader range. That's how I feel about um, why I took running back so early. I feel like there was more value in receivers later.
All right, and then what was oh yeah, we said as well before Goff. He was kind of the tier break there for the quarterbacks, the last of like the top 10, 12. Because, yeah, really what? Next, McCaffrey, McCarthy, Young, Cousins, Levis. Yeah, none of them really an option there for you.
No,
You said
not at
Mayfield
all.
actually would have been your next guy, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All
But
right.
I'm kind of high on Mayfield. I don't know if a lot of people are.
No, I mean, you're definitely the highest, that's for sure. I
I mean,
mean,
I
which
did
I don't
trade for
blame you.
him.
He definitely kicked ass last year.
Yeah, I did trade for him in the other league. So yeah, I think he like people are saying he might fall off a little bit because he doesn't have the
That's the
same
worry, I would assume, for a lot of
offensive
people is just,
coordinator.
yeah.
But he still got Mike Evans. He still got Chris Godwin. He's got Rashad White back there. I honestly think Kate Otton's also a great, like, up and coming tight end. I think people
It's,
are definitely he's like in the mid, like 10 to 20 range as far as tight ends. That I think is underrated. Yeah. So I think Mayfield's gonna be fine. I think he's a gamer. He's not gonna have the best week every week, but
as long as he has Mike Evans there, he'll be all right.
yeah. Same with Goff. Goff's not like the you wouldn't think of the
Yeah,
first
as long as
first
he's got Amon
quarterback.
Ra and now
He
Laporta.
yeah, he's got weapons. So
Hell yeah. All right. Following up, Brown 408, Michael Pittman, and yeah,
yeah. Again, I was like, wait a minute. I just drafted 2 Colts. Don't like to having 2 guys in my starting lineup all the time, but in this case, I think I'm gonna make the exception. 'Cause I am expecting big things from the offense with Anthony Richardson there. And Pittman's like a really good like I guess you can call it safe choice. 'Cause he gets a lot of targets, a lot of receptions. He'll get some of the shoulder work. Still gotta maybe get some touchdown upside there, build up a little bit more, but like I said, he's finished like top 20 each season he's been there, so definitely like plus he got a new contract, so like he's gonna be there for a while.
and it's not like they haven't done it before together. Like I mean, Jonathan Taylor was healthy and they were both on the team, so and they both performed rather well. I mean, Jonathan Taylor especially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I even looked at like this is based on like how much I would value like games that they were played together. I think it was like 2 that they were fully healthy, and like they played the whole
Oh, and
game.
actually played together.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh
I'm sorry. That's
shit.
with that's with AR. With AR, they didn't play
Oh,
any.
I was gonna
Um,
say, I was like, dang,
yeah.
is that true? Just Pittman and Taylor only
No,
played 2 games together? I'm like, oh
no,
crap, like
no. I
that's
think
a
it was
stat.
AR. They might have played like 1 or 2 games together, if that. But I don't think they played any, honestly. And like they played like toward the end of the season, they both did
Yeah,
really
really
well.
the only new equation is Richardson. And
Yeah,
it's
which
just a
honestly I
matter,
think
it
should
comes
be.
down to how he performs and if he
Yeah,
takes away from anything. But
I
yeah, I
think
feel
it's
it.
gonna
It's a good
be.
pick. Good pick.
I think it's gonna be better for Taylor. I think having that like that dual threat quarterback takes a little bit of um takes a little bit off you, like as far as like people game planning around who's gonna be the guy. So I think having a dual threat quarterback running RPOs, I think it's gonna be better for the running back too.
All right. Well, let's move on to my 2 picks here. Drake London, Trey McBride, and I did the same thing and go with a receiver. What did I say? Yeah, really the only contention there would have been Nico. I mean, yeah. Trey McBride, I believe he's going to be I think he's going to be a top 3 dude this year. If he has Kyler, I should at least say that because if Kyler goes down, then he'd be top 10. I would at least say that. But if Kyler's there, healthy all year, Trey McBride, I believe top 3. And Drake London, the upside with Kirko, I mean, is too good to pass up, I feel there. And I like the upside. I like taking high upside guys, especially wide receiver because last year he had a few games even with a shit quarterback. He put up like 29 and I think he had another game where he put up like 24, 25, 100 yards, touchdown. So yeah, I like those 2 picks there. High upside guys, young. I love it.
Yeah,
And
I'm
then
gonna
you
say that
follow
the
up with Nico at the 505. What were you going to say?
yeah. I had a question for you though. Are you
Mhm.
worried about because London hasn't had like that season yet? Where you're like, oh, he's the
But
guy.
he hasn't had a quarterback either, though. Like, I mean, you can even
Yeah,
say that with Kyle Pitts, and I mean, because they always have games where you see the talent and notice the talent regardless of the quarterback and how bad they perform. So and I watched quite a bit because last year when I traded him in the other league, I got him off your brother. I got curious. I was like, because I knew of Drake London, I watched a little bit of him, but I was like, I don't really want to watch this guy. And this one game, he made this nasty catch over like 2 dudes. It made it look easy. I'm like, yeah, this is the guy right here. So ever since then, I'm kind of in love with Drake London's talent and what he could do, especially when
yeah.
he
I'm gonna
has
say
now
yeah.
a competent quarterback.
Yeah, I think for me it was just why I didn't take him over Pittman was just like and like I don't really see I mean he might be still like a tier down at least from these guys, but like Jefferson or like Devontae Adams or somebody like that like they've also had like a great quarterback play, but they still were able to be like top 10, top 15 guys.
Well, the thing is as
I'm just
well, they
trying to
also
see.
ran the ball a lot, like a lot.
That's true.
You
Yeah.
know, and then Arthur Smith was using like the backup tight end. Like Jonnu Smith was getting like 5, 6 catches a game and shit. Like it just
I
didn't
gotcha.
seem like Pitts in London were utilized properly.
They weren't. No, I agree with that too. I think it's like there's still a couple question marks
Oh,
for
there's
me at
definitely
least.
question
I'm not
marks.
trying to,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to bash a pick, but I just, yeah, I could still. I mean, I could be eating my words here in 4 months and be like, yeah, I probably should have taken that guy. But
Well, that's the thing. He has a tremendous upside if Kirko does do good because I mean we've seen what he did with Justin Jefferson.
yeah, I think that's the main thing why he's even like even go in this kind of tier and everything is that he has Kirk now and like you said what he did with JJ.
Yeah, but I love that pick so. But Nico was one that you picked at the 505 and damn, my freaking throat. You get Nico 505. I like that pick. I think he's going to be the guy there over Tank,
Yeah.
Diggs,
Oh yeah.
Schultz.
Even in like even if it's not like this year, definitely he's locked up for like several years now. He just also got a new contract.
Yeah, what
Like
was it? 3 years or 4 years?
I think it was like 5 years.
Was it?
I think he honestly got a pretty decent deal. Yeah, I can double check that, but
Yeah, I have
yeah, I
the
just
thing
think like
here,
as
but
far as
it's
just
not
like for
showing.
Dynasty, I think in redraft it's gonna be harder to distinguish which Texas wide receiver is gonna break out this year. It could still be Nico. He still has that potential, but I think after this year, if Diggs doesn't get he signed to a new contract here that in Houston, I think Nico's definitely gonna be the guy.
I think
And I
Nico's
think
gonna have the bigger games to where Tank might have more like consistent like games. You know what I'm
yeah, I think
saying? Is that
yeah, I
like
think they're both gonna be ball. I don't think they're gonna both ball out. I think they're
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
like that Jamar Chase, T Higgins kind of grouping there. It, but yeah, I do love Nico, so he is an easy pick for me. I think compared to like honestly, I probably would have thought about taking him the round before, but I knew that Pittman wasn't going to be back there at the turnaround, so I went ahead and hoped that he dropped, and he did. So
He signed a 3-year extension, 72.5 or
was it 3 years?
72.75 million. Yeah, 3 years.
I thought it was more for some reason. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, excuse me. All right, but let's move on. Yeah, here we go. 512 Joe Mixon, you draft another running back and get your second wide receiver in DJ Moore.
Yeah, just think of Joe Mixon's another talented team, and DJ Moore being probably Caleb Williams #1 wasn't a bad choice.
You're gonna have to talk a little louder.
I'm talking like it's literally as loud as I can.
Yeah, it's not very loud.
Ugh. Um,
I mean, can you hear him all right? I don't know if like it's just me and my headset's down a little bit, so like
I can hear him all right.
all right, then we'll just keep going.
I mean, my audio is a problem. I can drop.
No, you're
It's,
good.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
Oh shit, what happened? Oh, his thing was beeping. I was like, wait, what? I was looking around like, what? All right, well, since he's muted right now, we can talk about his pick. And he kind of was saying last time, locking down and putting a chokehold on the running back situation a little bit. And I mean, with McCaffrey, Kyron, and Mixon, he can definitely do that a little bit, especially like. But if Mixon ends up being Mixon, he can have 3 top 10 running backs.
Yeah, I think Vic Mixon actually benefits better from going to Houston. I think I mean, he was like still like a top 10
Well,
running back.
the Bengals did like to run it though. That's the one thing, and they always had a solid offense, like a decent offensive line, really most times, especially towards the running game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think like near the red zone there, I feel like I think Mixon did get a lot of looks, but
I think he'll be
um,
money in the red zone for them.
yeah, I don't think Damian Pierce is. I think they were talking about them split the backfield a little bit more than was expected, but really, I think
Yeah,
Mixon's gonna be the
yeah,
guy there, and they do get a lot of looks with that offense. So.
yeah. And it being as good of a passing offense that it is, it like you kind of were saying, like he benefits from that. Like he's gonna. Because I mean, they have Nico, now Stephon Diggs, you have Schultz, Tank Dell. Like, you can't, like, if you even have 2 of them dudes on the field at once, Nico and Tank or Nico and Diggs, whatever. Trying to find
Yeah.
a way to hook up my Yeti. Okay. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, yeah, maybe talk about DJ Moore a little bit, and then we can maybe go through his stuff a
that's
little,
what
and
I'm
then
gonna, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going and hopefully
when he's
he can
ready,
get his stuff, yeah. He can
we
get
can
his
go
thing
back.
ready.
We can talk about his picks a little bit. Yeah. And then DJ Moore, he took the top Chicago wide receiver with the new offense.
Yeah, even with the rookie there, I mean, and Keenan Allen,
Yeah,
he's older. DJ Moore's the guy there. It's just more
yeah,
a question, ton of mouths to feed in rookie QB.
yeah. And DJ Moore's, I mean, DJ Moore's always been like volatile. Like he's had like these big games, but he might not always have like consistency.
Well, his
But
quarterbacks, he's another one where his quarterbacks sucked.
that's also yeah,
Like
Justin Fields
real
was like
bad. Like,
yeah, but he still made it work. He was like what
yeah, yes.
number 6 wide receiver last year. So
Yeah, he was just more volatile because like his quarterback play, the quarterback he was dealing with was more volatile and just like even if like he was beating everybody out there, if his quarterback is throwing shit passes all game or just not looking his way, because if
yeah,
you throw it up to the dude, he's more times than not he's probably gonna come away with it.
yeah. And I think he still has like a top 10 ceiling. It's just gonna yeah, like I said, you got a rookie there now, and the Dunze. You got Keenan Allen, who's definitely a bit of a target hog there too. So at least for this year, um, maybe expect a little bit of a drop, but I think like long term, he's
I
at least
think
for the
he'll
next three
still
four
like be
years,
top 15 at the least, you know.
he'll be like a pretty good wide receiver.
Agreed. But Mark Andrews at 608, you grab I mean potentially a top 5 tight end in the 6th round, which is pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a
like I
lot of
said,
talent there at tight end, but I mean, it's Mark Andrews. He could definitely beat out somebody and get in that top 5 and even be top 3. Let's be real.
yeah, I think the reason like I was probably gonna maybe try to take another wide receiver, but there wasn't anybody like I said. I think I was thinking of Metcalf or Pickens, but they went before Andrews. So like he was, especially in like a tight end premium, you want like a higher upside tight end to put there in your starting lineup. So I think Andrews is going to be healthy. He's got Lamar throwing to him. They have a good connection, good offense. So and he's always, people are like he's been in the league forever, right? They're like, well, he's 27. Like he's still
Well, I
like
think he's 28 now, if I'm
yeah, or 28. Yeah, I mean
28,
he's still like
yeah.
at least 3 4 years
That's really
younger
not
than
yeah. I mean, look at
Kelsey.
Kelsey. I mean, he could go for quite like 4 more years easy.
Yeah, like I said, as long as he stays healthy, I think Andrews is
Yeah, you don't have nothing
um,
to worry about.
pretty good.
Agreed. Mark Andrews is a beast. Sadly, I think I drafted him. And that's the one thing that I freaking hate. Every time I draft someone with huge expectations, and then like especially like redraft. Really, I mean, I draft someone with high expectations, and then they get like taken out from an injury or some shit. Like that's all I dealt with last year was someone like one or someone else in my lineup was injured, if not 2 people at the same time. Like crazy.
Yeah,
But hopefully he, like you said, he stays healthy because, yeah, it's more exciting that way. Especially, like I said, all that talent like Laporta, Kelsey, Kincaid. If Pitts does well with Kirko, don't think I'd throw Bowers up there this early. It's a little bit too much, but
Bowers, I would.
I
I
wouldn't
think
throw him
he's
up there yet. Not in top 5, I wouldn't.
I think he definitely took a hit on the where he was drafted as far as his draft stock. But
Exactly.
I feel like that dude can play all kinds of positions
It's just so I need
on
to
the
see it.
field.
Really, that's all. That's pretty
That's
much where
true.
I'm at with him.
But you can say the same thing about Marvin Harrison. He's being drafted like
Yeah,
top 10
but
wide
his
receiver.
situation, like you said, is definitely not as good as that. And Marvin
Yeah,
Harrison is supposed to be a generational, like one of a kind type
yeah.
people.
I mean, they are saying the same thing about Bowers. I will say.
Yeah, a little bit. I did hear that,
Yeah,
but
we'll see.
not
We'll see what
nearly
happens.
as much. Like Marvin was like number 1 consensus, number 1. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, there was no beating him out.
And I will say anybody like from the Raiders aside from Adams, I'm not really sure about.
Exactly. Like
Like
yes,
they
and
said, it's the Raiders.
we need to see
It's
what
like
they're due at quarterback, and if they go with AOC, how good is it? Like I like it. I like Aiden O'Connell. I think he's going to be the starter and play well. But if he doesn't, I mean, Minshew's serviceable. He proved that. He's proven it.
Yeah.
It's just like I think like you said, they will use him as what, like they'll use him as like versatile guy. It's just really how much and yeah, just how good is the quarterback situation going to be for them. Okay, so moving on, Lad McConkey. Dude, I was thinking like just the other, like that's why I nicknamed him McConkey Tonk. Dude, he has like the whitest white name ever. Like it's like Lad McConkey. Like he basically has honky in his name. Uh
I can't wait to hear all the nicknames.
but I like him. I'm hoping and it kind of seems like he's leaning towards that way if everything goes how it's supposed to. He's going to be the number one wide receiver for that team. And if he ends up being the number one receiver for Justin Herbert, that's yeah, I'm excited to have him as my number 3 wide receiver if that's the case. Like if you can even give me like 75% of what Keenan Allen was doing, I'm straight with that. You know?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty damn good. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, there's not really any competition. I think.
Mm-mm.
Um,
Not too much,
I can
no.
talk. I mean, I'm gonna end up talking about Josh Palmer here in a second,
Which
or in a little bit.
like
But
I do like we spoke on Josh Palmer and we both like Josh Palmer. It's just he'll like if McConkey's that slot like and plays that Keenan Allen role, that's where I really feel like he's just benefits from that because
yeah,
when
he's gonna get a ton of targets.
yes, exactly.
And Palmer's more of like a deep threat.
Yeah, he could get you like 5 for like 60, 75 yards and a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah, honestly, I can see them being like the new Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, kind of like this both having big weeks. Like, because I think they're gonna pass the ball more than what they're saying. With that offense, I think Herbert's gonna still be using his arm a lot.
Yeah,
So
like 30
yeah,
passes a game and like
I
I
think
can't imagine. Yeah.
yeah, I like both players, and I almost was like maybe McConkey's somebody I can draft now, and he might end up blowing up, but I was like, yeah, just because the tight end was still there, I went tight end, but yeah, McConkey would have been probably, I would have taken him definitely over like Higgins or Coleman at that point.
Yeah, see, I would have definitely taken him over. I would have taken him over. Ooh, dang, that's actually. We didn't talk anything about that last time. I kind of like this because there's quite a few wide receivers who went before him, and I think I might even like McConkey over someone like DJ Moore, which is kind of. Like I don't necessarily feel good about saying that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean you can make a case for a lot of those guys.
I would definitely
Um,
pick him over Worthy, Coleman, Higgins. That would be a good one. Because I like Higgins as well, and he's gonna be a free agent next year, most likely.
yeah, I think I still would take like Dickens or Flowers, or
Pickens
even
is another one I
Metcalf.
was looking at that I'd probably pick over McConkey.
Yeah, but out of like all like the rookies
But even still,
after Adunze, like everybody has their like favorites at that point. It's kind of like some people are more of a Worthy guy, some people are more of a McConkey guy, some
yeah,
people are more
Worthy,
of
his speed, Mahomes. I mean,
Coleman guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I could see why.
so it's kind of just seeing who's
You hope that like again with
fit.
McConkey, it's kind of like can Worthy give you like 75% of what Tyreek Hill used to be? It's like it's the same thing, really. Like you
Yeah.
just kind of hope he can mimic like even like that much of what he used to do because Worthy's that like with his speed, he's kind of that same type of player. Not nearly as good. I mean, it's Tyreek Hill. He's not. You can't be talking all that, but as far as speed and all that shit, I mean, he's even faster. Worthy,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy.
Worthy, it's like the fastest I think we've had in a while in the
Yeah, he
draft.
broke the record. I think. I think
Yeah.
that was him.
The the old 40, the full 40-yard dash.
Which it's a straightaway with no pads or anything, but still, I mean, fucking hella impressive.
Still, yeah, this makes you dangerous.
All right,
So
let's move on. I drafted May. Well, yeah, really both of them best value for me in my eyes, especially May here. I mean, McCarthy could have been the option there, but May's the better prospect. He might have to wait a little bit, but I'm perfectly fine with that. I grabbed him as my third quarterback. I don't need him to start. I sit and wait. If he does good, if Jaden and Drake end up both doing good, I have 3 quarterbacks. I can move one if I want. So I thought that was a smart move. Take the long road. Take the best value. And then you do the same and draft a quarterback and the guy we were discussing earlier, and hopefully a guy I hope balls out this year. So yeah, Kirko Chains.
Kirko Chains. He's yeah, I think he's still got a few years left as far as like being a very efficient quarterback. He's got some weapons on Atlanta, so I think he's primed for a better campaign as far as like he definitely would be going higher and like redrafting that. But like I said, like looking at his last few seasons, like he was on pace for a top 10 season
Oh
last
yeah,
year before he
he'd
got
go
hurt.
above Drake, McCarthy, Young, all of them easy.
Yeah, and he's had top 10 seasons the last 2 years prior. So like I said, he doesn't have much of a downgrade in weapons. So
Ooh,
as long as
that's
he
a good
stays
question
healthy,
for redraft. Because I mean, because you can maybe just even say Jaden because of his running potential, because he's actually going pretty high in redrafts because of that. But like, if it's a redraft, he's in the discussion. Like, would you do him, Purdy, Goff? Like, I kind of feel like that's where he goes at that point, right? Like, even you can even maybe throw like Tua, like, because if he with
yeah,
his
I think
he still has weapons on that offense. Like he has
yeah,
London, he has them in the 3 mains: wide receiver, tight end, and running back.
yeah, I think he's like right there. Like he's probably like right outside my top 12 as far as like redraft quarterbacks. Like I think I put him like right behind Goff. I would
Right
have
behind
Daniels
Goff.
yeah, I would have Daniels ahead of both of them in my like
Yeah, Jaden
as
Daniels.
far as yeah, because of
Yeah,
his
yeah,
dual threat ability and everything.
exactly. Yeah.
And if he's starting right away, like yeah, I think I'm putting him over the regular pocket passers who are good, but might not give you that like those 3-4 touchdowns a game.
Which
So
Daniels could do. He could give you like 75 rushing and like 2 touchdowns. Some wild
Daniels,
shit.
yeah, he can get you touchdowns passing and running as long as everything works out that offense. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, I think Kirk's definitely like for redraft, like you would be very comfortable with him as like a backup quarterback QB2. Um, so yeah,
Shit, really, he
I
could
like
even
it there.
suffice as a QB1.
Yeah, and I like it. And then I picked him with with the anticipation of also drafting Michael Penix. So
Yeah,
now I
which
have that
yeah,
QB
yeah.
room locked up. So yeah, I'm happy with that, and I had him in. I drafted them in the other draft last year. So yeah, I like Kirk. I think he's a really good value for this year, and
Hell yeah. All right.
yeah,
So Dan drafted 2 more wide receivers, Tank Dell and Devontae Adams, and we were discussing Tank Dell earlier. I think he'll pretty much, if he doesn't if the leg thing isn't a problem, or if he doesn't have like get in his head, or he needs to like feel like he needs to protect himself more or something. You know how it is. Like if someone gets injured and it like gets in their head and they just don't play up to their potential because they're like in the back of their mind, like, oh, I don't want to get injured again. But if he
yeah. I mean,
go ahead.
I don't think I see them putting him in any more like goal line packages
No,
anymore.
but still,
That's
it
how he
did
got
happen
hurt.
though. It did happen though, which is
It
what
did
I'm
happen
saying.
though, so yeah, as long as he gets past the mental aspect, I think he'll be fine. He's a
I think
he
he'll
has
be. I think that's not going to be a factor, but you never know.
yeah, you never know with those guys. Hopefully that doesn't yeah. Plus, and he is a smaller guy. I think he's like
Yeah,
what,
he's
like five
tiny,
eleven or
teeny
something.
tiny. like
Yeah,
160. Yeah, 5'10", 165 pounds. He is small.
so he's undersized, but like I said, I think Stroud loves him. Like he put him on like his Mount Rushmore for wide receivers. So he's like he definitely has that go with the quarterback. So like I said, again, like this year, you're not sure how efficient he's gonna be. But like I said, if once Diggs leaves, him and Nico are gonna tear it up.
Yeah, and like you were saying earlier, and I agree, and I said that too when I heard how he got injured. I'm like, why? I think a lot of most people were saying why did they stick him up during that play up in the goal line to do whatever they
Yeah,
were trying to, like that was just idiotic. I'm sorry, that was hella stupid,
love
real
love the
fucking
Mika
dumb.
Ryans. Love the Mika Ryans. He did everything right last year, except that.
Yes, I mean pretty much, yeah. Because that's something like it's someone basic in football would be like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be putting the guy who weighs 165 pounds up on the goal line like this. It's
Yeah.
it's not a good idea. But
Hmm.
he follows that up with Devontae Adams. I mean, legit one of the best wide receivers, if not the best wide receiver in the league.
He's up there, man.
Right next to
Super.
Tyreek Hill. I mean, Tyreek Hill puts up more fantasy numbers, but I mean, as far as like pure wide receiver, like talent, I mean, Devontae's, yeah,
I mean, yeah, he's
he's the
good.
shit.
Yeah, and I think the only thing bringing him down really is the quarterback play.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think yeah, he's still like right there. Without that, but who knows? You know, he might go to they say he might go to New York. He might get traded.
Nah, I don't think that's happening. See, people were talking about that receiver, that show receiver, and they keep quoting about how he was mad. But like that was within the first few episodes, and not even an episode or two later, he was excited because they got rid of the coach, what's his face, and then Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't the quarterback anymore.
Yeah.
In the first game I think AOC played, he gave him the game ball.
So yeah,
Like he likes AOC. He likes Aiden O'Connell. Like he likes
yeah.
being there, it seems like right now. And he
Uh,
performed fairly well. Like he still performed pretty good.
I mean, he was still like top. Almost like I think he was about top 10, top 12, as far as wide receivers last year. So I think we see that from him at least one more time. So like this year, he's a great like win now guy. Um, but like I said, like I don't see too many more years of this, but I think he like right now is still elite, and he's got yeah. Like I said,
Yeah,
there ain't much more.
he put
There ain't
up
much more on there. Good.
sorry, he put up I don't wait, when did AOC actually start? Aiden O'Connell. That's what I want to figure out here real quick too. When he actually started playing some meaningful games. All right, so
It
really
looks
like
like
around like week 9, 11. I mean, he got 9, yeah, 9, 10, 11. But Devontae, after week 9 is where he really started to pick up. 14, 21, 12, 12, 24. He did have a bad game against the Chiefs and only scored 1, but that was a horrible game for AFC in that offense in general. But he scored 37 against the Colts and then 15 against Denver. I mean, that's pretty solid numbers. 20 multiple 20-point games and then a 37-point game. That's ridiculous.
yeah, he like I said, there's nobody around him too. So like Bowers is there now, but like you said,
He's going to
it's
get
like
his.
he's gonna get his,
Yeah,
but
hell
yeah,
yeah.
it's
He's too good.
I
He did not
I
give him the
know
ball. He's
if
going to win
used
every time.
properly, like I said, like, I think he's one of those guys. Like I don't care as long as he can throw a football. Like I think
Yeah.
Devontae is gonna
Oh
get
yeah.
a lot of work and a lot of points. So he's
I need to buy a cord. Something something.
something.
Hold on, what's
I'm
this
like,
say? I think he was saying something about, and then I ordered it to go to pick
go
this
talk to
up
me.
after work. For me to do that, I don't have the other end. I'm going to. He said he's going to drop. He said he's screaming at it. It's fine if as long as you can hear him a little bit. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. They have like that attachment to the thing, like I know mine does, and it has the USB-C. So if I really wanted to, I could hit my one charger cable, plug the one end into the mic, and then the other end into my phone. I think I could do that. But iPhone chargers aren't like that. They don't have the same ends. Like, don't they have different fucking ends to them?
They literally only have like a small port for the like their own like USB port. It's
Yeah, but I'm
USB-C.
saying like the two ends are like different. Like the plug-in that goes into your phone is different from the other end that goes into like the port.
Yeah, those are the things. And like I said, it only has one port. It only has one slot you can put. So you have to have the right cord for that.
Yeah, see, mine has I have both like I have the one charger that has the USB connection to it and then the USB-C on both ends. So yeah, it's amazing. And I have an adapter that does that too, which is pretty sweet. It converts it converts the USB into the USB-C or whatever.
Hmm.
Is he joining? Okay, I don't know. He said he was screaming. We'll see. If he joins, he joins.
Yeah, we can keep going.
He said he ordered that cord though, so that's awesome. Because yeah, when you actually have the micro, like that's why I love having this microphone and not using like my Xbox headset, because this is definitely better quality. It's not a great microphone, but it's still good. All right, so yeah, Devontae Adams, damn good receiver. And you draft another receiver and go Amari Cooper, and I mean, yeah, as far as that goes, that's pretty much the pick there after like Cup and everybody fell. I don't think
Yeah,
the other one
I was.
closest to him maybe might be Brian Thomas if you have hopes that him and Lawrence have that long, deep connection together. But I mean, I don't think I'd
Yeah,
go
like
McLaurin over him. Kirk maybe because I
I
like
think it's
Kirk
hit
better.
ahead in my head. Like I was gonna take like a veteran wide receiver that was really good still. So like I was waiting for like Adams or Evans or even Cooper Cup to drop. They
Yeah, I was
all
kind of
went.
hoping one
I
of
was
those
like,
older guys would fall as well, but it didn't
I
happen.
was like, I was like, damn it. So Cooper was there. I think he's very, very underrated. Um, so and like I said, like he like same thing. He just hasn't had like all like good quarterback play, but like I said, he put up like 50 points with Joe Flacco. So
It seems
like
like
if
he's never
Watson
like
is
as much of the focal point as he really should be.
not
You
really,
know what I'm
no. Like
saying? Like
I think
even when
he
they
hasn't
had
been
Chubb
like
healthy, like you could have a Cooper Chubb like that sounds fucking kind of disgusting. But you could have them like just kicking ass every game and really make them the focal points, which it didn't seem like they did a lot of until like Joe Flacco came in and Joe Flacco likes to throw it deep, so it made sense.
yeah. Like I said, if Deshaun Watson can be half the quarterback that he used to be, I think Cooper is gonna be like really good this year. I think he's still gonna be like a top 20 wide receiver regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm surprised he's only barely cracked the top 10 only a couple times. But again, like I said,
Yeah,
hadn't
I'm
had
not.
the best quarterback in the league throwing to him. So like I
Yeah,
said,
he
Watson could be
broke.
somewhat close to that, but
He just got top 10. He was number 10 twice. Once in he was 2022 with Cleveland and then 2019 with Dallas. He came close with Oakland his second year. He was 13 and he was 15 in 2020. So I mean, he's been top 15 four times, top 10. He was 10 twice. So yeah.
yeah, in what 2022, he had what Watson for maybe like 4 weeks, and who did he have like Jacoby Brissett or somebody
I think
throwing to him
so. I think it might have been Brissett.
like
Because
Put that dude
Brissett
with
ended up going to another team last year. Who was he? He was with the Commanders last year. So I think you're right. It was Brissett. Because Brissett, I think, left and went to the Commanders and then ended up, now he's with the Patriots.
yeah, like put that dude with Mahomes or Allen or Hurts.
Oh, yeah.
Like I think that
Agree.
dude's
I can
top.
agree with that. He'd
He
be,
could, he could,
yeah.
he could be top 5 really. I think is his ceiling. But like I said, Watson's a shell of himself, at least so far. So like I said, hopefully he
Yeah,
kind of
he
is
if he's with the
good
top
enough to.
quarterback, he's easily, I'd say, top 10. He'd be drafted that way for sure, no question.
Yeah. So
Especially
like I said,
redraft. It would be easy.
hmm so out of all the veterans that were still left, he was the easy pick.
And
And
a good
honestly,
wide receiver 3 to have.
yeah, honestly, I was thinking about like if I would take Cup over him, I might, but I think Cooper, like I said, do value him higher than most people.
All right. I don't know if he hasn't said anything. All right, but moving on, Hawkinson. Yeah, since that, like I was kind of what I was saying earlier, and that's the question now. Like I didn't even really think of it before, but which I might have gone away with letting Corum go. I think I could have let him go, but I didn't want to chance it, especially at that point when there wasn't a receiver. Because if Cooper Cup, Mike Evans, if one of them was there, I could easily have seen myself doing that. And went Hawkinson Corum. I think that's or no, Hawkinson like Cup Hawkinson Evans Hawkinson. And then I think I might have tried to wait on Corum or maybe try to trade back in somehow. But yeah, I think that would have been the play. But it didn't happen that way. But Hawkinson is still a tremendous value at round 8, especially at the end of round 8.
Yeah, I mean, still a top 5 tight end potentially.
Yeah, when healthy.
Yeah, just you gotta. I mean, for Dynasty, I'm surprised he didn't go higher. Like I feel
He
like
should
this is
have
like
went up. He probably should have gone drafted above Kittle, to be honest.
yeah, like I probably put him over Andrews a little bit, but I think it was the quarterback situation for me.
Yeah, he'd probably.
As
I'd
far
say
as
like round 6, 7 should have been really where he was at, right? I think that's. He
hmm
fell like 2 rounds, and I knew he wouldn't have lasted longer because Tommy said something about he wanted him.
yeah,
So I kind of got, yeah, I wanted to snag even having just the second tight end, and it's not a huge tight end premium, but a 0.25 tight end premium still. If you have a tight end that gets 4 catches, that's an extra point added onto it. So I'm not gonna argue about that, and especially like you get a tight end who gets like 8 catches, like a touchdown, and like 70 some yards. Like yeah, an extra 2 points goes a long way.
mm,
But Corum, I liked him. I like him a lot. Like I said, I didn't really want to let him go. I could have went and grabbed starting caliber running back here easily. Jalen Warren could put up points. Zach Moss was still there. I'm not really too high on Tony Pollard. I'm not really high on Javonta. Um, it would have probably been Warren Moss, maybe. It probably would have been Warren over anybody. But Corum's my guy. He's young. Kyron, who knows if he has one more year on his contract. If he gets signed, if he gets dropped, he's gonna be the potential for Corum in a Rams backfield is amazing. I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with a Rams running back. So I'm really happy about that. And Rashee Rice is your next pick. He's your wide receiver 4. And really the only thing you kind of have to worry about with him is does he bounce back from all the legal trouble? And I mean, that's really it. I mean, they did at Hollywood Brown, so it does take away a little bit, and Worthy. So you kind of have that to worry about as well. But if he doesn't fall off much and he comes back fine, it's a solid pick there.
yeah. Because he just has to stop
And he's
being a
still only
douche.
24.
Like he just has to stop being an idiot. That's all. You just gotta get it together. You're an NFL wide receiver. be a professional.
Stop breaking the law, asshole.
Stop doing drag races and whatever the hell you're doing, beating up cameramen. I don't know what he's doing now.
Beating up cameraman.
Yeah, I think.
The
Yeah,
camera on my face.
looking at a couple guys, like I liked Christian Kirk and Terry McLaurin too in that spot, but I think Rice he's younger, has a little bit more upside. He's got Patrick Mahomes. I think but the main reason why I drafted him was because I had Patrick Mahomes, that potential for a pretty good stat.
Yeah, the
there.
wide receiver quarterback combo is always nice to have.
Yeah, it's a question mark, but like for round 9, I think that's
Solid gamble.
like he dropped. Yeah, it was like for like a whole like round, he was the next best player available. ECRIs. So yeah, like I know Worthy's there, Hollywood's there, but he'd already got the chemistry with Mahomes. So
Apparently Mahomes likes some Hollywood.
yeah, I don't know. Hollywood seems like
I like
I just
Hollywood.
don't know
He
if
has
he's that
he
good.
seems to have like lingering ankle shit. He kind of has. It seems like he has that linger a bit, and it costs him some little costume. But
Yeah,
otherwise,
and
I mean, he's a hell of a receiver. I mean, he makes
he's pretty.
plays.
Yeah, I'd rather go with the higher, like the younger guy.
Yeah, like you said, already established, been
higher
on that
upside.
team.
Yeah, so like he will probably get suspended.
And
Hopefully it's
technically,
not for, like, a
Hollywood's
year.
only there locked down for 1 year.
Yeah.
So who
like I
knows?
said, after this year, like yeah, like I said, it's somebody to invest in for the future and see what happens.
I like it. All right. So Dan's not back yet. I don't know. I told him to join. I don't know. His mic's still muted. I don't know if he knows that.
Yeah.
I just said you're muted. Like, watch him have been talking, like trying to go in and talk, and I did that once in one of my streams on my gaming thing. What was I doing? I was playing shit. I was playing Harry Potter. That's what it was. And for like the first like 30 minutes, I had my mic muted. And I'm like, found out, and I'm like, oh jeez. I just went on like this whole tirade about like the show that was coming out and everything. I'm like, yeah, that was Jesus. Literally
you
talking to
got it out.
myself.
You got it out. That's good.
But since he's not back, we can talk about his guys for him. And he snags his first tight end in Dallas Goedert, a pretty dang good tight end for good offense. And Matthew Stafford, I mean, proven quarterback. The only really worry about him is his age at this point. He's had some neck things. I'm pretty sure it was a neck or something like that. But it didn't bother him last year, that's for damn sure. So I think that's a solid pickup.
Yeah, I honestly would put Stafford in like the Kirk Cousins tier as far as like where they should
True.
be drafted.
Yeah.
Stafford again,
He'd definitely be up there. Like redraft
like
shit, yeah.
I think it's higher upside with the receivers he has this year.
I
But for
think I'd
Dynasty,
probably pick Stafford over Kirko if I had to be honest in like a
for
redraft.
this year, absolutely.
Yeah, I
But
think
Kirk,
so.
I think is gonna
That's
be
what I'm
the
saying.
longer,
Redraft, yeah, I'd probably go Stafford over him.
Yeah, so yeah, good. Like I said, like right now, good super flex at least quarterback, and Dallas Goddard, a really good tight end. Like I said, still got some weapons on Philly, but I think I thought maybe last year was gonna be his breakout year.
I think he
Maybe
got banged. I think he was banged up a little bit last year, if I'm not mistaken.
a little bit, yeah. I said I think
Yeah, he did. He missed quite a few games. He missed
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, like 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, because I remember
So,
rolling tight ends because I had him on my team.
and he was doing good. He had 25. I mean, he didn't start off so hot, but he had a 25-point game in there, and he had an 18-point game in there. And then at the end of the season, he came back 14, 15. That's pretty dang solid numbers for a tight end.
Yeah, I think he would.
If you can give me 14 points in my tight end one, I'd be I'd be happy with that.
Yeah, and especially this year, like I like him over Komet. This year is because Komet has
Yeah, man. that saddens me so much because I love Komet. Like he's such a fucking he's one of those dudes that just he reminds me of like a Heath Miller type guy.
Yeah.
So consistent, like he'll be there, like he's gonna make the catches, and he's a fighter. Yeah, Dan dropped out.
He just top 10
Bye,
tight end.
Dan.
Bye, Dan.
Yeah, that sucks. Cause I couldn't like him. For me, he kept cutting out, and it was hard to hear him.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks. Oh well.
That's right. We can give
Yeah, another time I can have, even if it's just me and him, I can have him go through and talk about it real quick or some shit. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think I might be with you on like for this year. I would like specifically, I'd probably go Goddard over Komet. In the long run, I don't know because rookie tight ends are normally rookie quarterback's best friend because there's like that middle of the field like sure-handed big guy. So I could see him still having a pretty good season, and he's 25, and I think he's locked up for 2-3 more years, some shit like that.
Yeah.
And he hasn't missed time at all. He hasn't missed a game.
Yeah, I think he's definitely good. And I dropped him in redraft last year, so I was happy when he finished top 10 in tight ends. I think he was like number 8, so he was like definitely like one of the better tight ends last year. Sneakily too. I don't think anybody really were talking about him. So,
Well, I drafted him in Dynasty. He's on my
yeah.
squad.
So yeah, good player. Just gotta see what happens. Maybe even after this year, just because there's so many other mouths to feed.
Oh yeah, and your pick's right after that with Penix, but you kind of were talking about that earlier. It's draft him, lock up the Falcons quarterback situation, and you don't have really anything to worry about because you got both of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty much set for. I mean, as long as maybe like several years. Like I'm talking like 10, 15 years, like potentially, but at least for the next like 4 years, I'm banking on one of those two, Kirk or Penix, to be the guy there.
And really, like, if as long as Mahomes stays healthy, like, if Kirk goes down, you have him. So if Mahomes stays healthy, you have the flexibility of just swapping one of them out and be like, okay, well, if he's injured, bam.
Yeah, so it's like I said, nice to.
Oh, and
Doesn't
you have
matter like
Gino there
depth
too.
on how good.
Sorry, I missed that, but yeah, that's a little
Yeah,
down the
we can
board.
talk about
Yeah,
Gino here in a second.
Gino.
Gino. Yeah, like I said, I don't have to worry about my quarterback situation really ever. So
Smart move.
it
Smart move.
yeah, like the other dynasty, like I have like Goff. I think Dan took the same approach this year. I have like Goff, Mayfield, and Derek Carr. So like not feeling as great about that, but this one definitely like hey, I got the advantage at QB. I typically have a good quarterback there in Superflex, so I'm in good shape there.
All right. So, and then in your place, you and Nate swapped out. He drafted Pearsall. I like that. All right. I drafted Hollywood Dotson. I went a little early. I went a little early on Dotson compared to most mocks, but like a round or two. But I can't. Where I draft him and why I have him a little higher is because I do like Dotson. His rookie year, he showed flashes and he played pretty well. And then with Sam Howell, it just was with that offense, it wasn't the same. Even Terry McLaurin wasn't like if you even look at McLaurin's stats, he wasn't really doing shit until Brissett came in. So I still like Jahan Dotson a lot. And with Jaden Daniels and his deep ball and how he can throw it downfield, I like it even more. So really the hope there is that he ends up being a top 20 type guy, like top 25, top 20. And he's put up multiple 20-point games. Like, let's see here. Yeah, last year even he only put it up once, but he put up 24 against Philly, and then he had a 16-point game. But his rookie year is where really, yes, 18, 17, 16, 20, 19. I mean, if he can be a wide receiver that can put up like say an average of 15 throughout the season or something close to that, I'll be over the moon about it. So really, that's kind of more of like jumping and hoping for potential with that. And Hollywood, I don't even have anymore, so I sold him.
Yeah.
I have faith in some of the other receivers that I draft later on, and I wanted to trade a receiver away early, see if I could get some value for it, the value that I wanted really, and I got what I wanted for him, a first round pick. So I'm happy I was able to make that move, and I like Hollywood this year, and yeah, so. But he's gone. He didn't last very long. Your next pick was Geno Smith at 11-7. And, I mean, really, what? With Geno, it's just, I mean, Sam Howell's there now, but the offensive line didn't really help him last year, but he made some bad plays. He turned the ball over quite a bit. So, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But as far as this year, that's Geno's. That's Geno's the QB. Unless he gets hurt or some shit.
Yeah, I think so. I think he did play pretty poorly last year.
Who,
But he showed a
Geno
lot
or
of
Sam?
Geno.
Well, Geno didn't play poor. He didn't play as good as the year before.
Yeah.
He was quarterback 19, which isn't spectacular, but he did miss 2 games, so you can't factor that in a little bit.
And he was like top 5 the year before, so
yeah, he was really good. What was he in 22 actually? Yeah, he was number 5. So
yeah, Dallas, man, whoever quarterback he had. That's why like Bryce Young might be a good pick this year to stash in on your rosters because he's got Dave Canales now. He might end up having like a top 15 season.
yeah, that'd be wild. Shit, Bryce Young owners fucking would definitely be happy about that.
Yeah, I think at least for this year, see what happens
And even if he doesn't, like, if he isn't even on Seattle next year, like, who's to say he doesn't, like, get another starting gig for another year or some shit, like being a bridge somewhere else. And he just starts, like, he gets, like, a season here for a team, season there for a team. He's, 33 right now, I think it said? Yeah, he's 33, so, I mean, really, quarterbacks now are going to, like, easily, like, 35, it seems like, so.
Yeah. So, and then, like, I don't even know if I'm going to have to depend on him that much.
Nah, yeah, security blanket, really.
I think I'm starting on week 1 because Kirk's playing his first game against the Steelers. So I'm just like,
Yeah, it could be good or could be bad just because the secondary for the Steelers isn't always where me and you both know because we watch the Steelers and we love our Steelers. But that secondary, not so good sometimes, and they give up some big-ass plays.
Yeah, we'll see. I think they're going to be...
I hope not, but...
Yeah, but I think they were able to get the quarterback and everything. So that's why I'm like, I think Kirk might throw a pick or 2. And Geno could too, but I think he has a better shot at...
Who's Geno playing week 1?
Denver.
Denver is a pretty good defense.
They had a pretty good defense. I think they're like...
You can go really either way on that one, though. I feel it.
Plus, yeah, in a dome. Seattle's in a dome. What am I thinking? I'll have to think about that. But right now I have Geno over Kirk. Week 1. I think I have Kirk better off putting him in more weeks than...
Yeah, I think like out of any of them, like if the one was gonna have the worst week, it probably would be Kirk against the Steelers.
Yeah, for me, I'm just playing it safe and maybe drafting the guy that is at home and has slightly better matchup.
Yeah, I think I'd probably lean towards Geno as well.
Yeah.
But Dan selects Xavier Legette and Mostert. I don't know. How do you feel about Legette? Because I don't know.
He's an interesting player.
How long did Deontay Johnson sign for?
Johnson?
Yeah.
He was traded, so I don't know if he re-signed.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So what would he have left on his contract? Like a year or two, maybe something like that.
Maybe that, yeah.
Okay, so
So
he could potentially be the guy, like in a year or two, some shit.
yeah, I mean, even now, like who's really there to say if he's like better, like if he outperforms everybody in training camp, I think he's out there all week one. But
Yeah, I
he's
mean, I
like,
think he will be. I would want to say he'd be the. He could even be technically the number one, just because he'd probably be the outside guy, to where Deontay would probably be more effective at the number two. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, or even like Thielen, where they put Thielen in the slot or something.
Like basically
Like,
like what the Steelers were, because really Deontay was like the number one receiver, but Pickens was kind of like technically the number one because he played the outside a lot more.
yeah, like that's
What
big.
they
He's
call it,
definitely
like the
big
X
too.
receiver. Why I can't remember which one they call it, the X receiver, some shit.
Yeah, but like I think he's got more of like an AJ Brown in him, like a big guy, deep threat. So I can
That's what
see
I'm
him
saying.
being
Yeah, yeah.
really really good, but also like he could be Jonathan Minga 2.0
Exactly. Yes.
real quick
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So like it just depends on like how Bryce Young looks really.
Yeah.
I
Too.
think if Bryce Young looks good, I think he'll look. I think he might be a nice little pick there. But yeah, we'll just have to kind of see with him. Like I said, that's probably why he dropped so far. Is
Hmm.
you just don't know with
You didn't see it really year one, so what are you kind of going off of? Hope, really.
yeah, exactly.
uh, Mostert.
And
I mean, yeah, would you? I like Mostert, but would you have drafted? Because there's
when
a
I'm
few
looking,
guys there, like Gus Edwards, Eckler. I mean, Eckler I'd probably put right there with Mostert, but Gus Edwards is there. Marshawn Lloyd's a good prospect. I mean, Elliott going back to Dallas could look enticing. Zach Charbonnet's there. I mean, Jalen Wright, Miami running back. You might have to wait on him, but he was drafted in fourth running back anyway. Kendre Miller. There are some guys there. So I don't
yeah,
know. I
I
don't think
mean,
I would have went Mostert there, to be honest.
if he's like in like a win now mode, I totally see it
Even
because
so, like Gus
did have
Edwards.
Mostert did have 20 touchdowns last year, so he was the number two running back. Like
Yeah, you're
even
right.
if
But
there is
he
a
doesn't
drop
really hold
off,
any trade value. And if he already has
no,
Kyron, McCaffrey, and Mixon along with those receivers, so when would he really use him?
like I said, if he
Someone gets
throws him
injured.
in and somebody gets hurt, yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
really
mean,
it.
like I said, I could probably see him being maybe like a third flex. But like I said, he still
But
has.
for who though? Who would you take? Like,
I would say his top
because I mean,
receivers are
who
Chase,
else? If you
Adams, and then you have DJ Moore. I'd say Tank Dell might not even be startable right away. Um, or Leggett. So
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
would
saying. It's
probably
kind of
say,
like even without Leggett, I think with just those top guys he has, I don't even. Yeah, because it'd be his starting lineup would be McCaffrey, Kyron, Chase, Devontae, Goddard, Moore, Mixon, Dell.
yep. I don't think I could see him swapping Dell for Mostert.
And really, at that point, it's just if
Really.
anybody gets injured, he could do that. Like if a running back gets injured, he could throw him in. If a wide receiver, someone in his flex gets injured, he could throw him in. But that's really what you're doing there with that. Is you got a
Yeah.
good, nice bench player who can come in and start for you if someone's injured.
I mean, long term, yeah, I see him maybe being riding the bench, but I think week one, I see him swapping out Tank Dell. So I'm putting Mostert in because it's because Mostert again, like he's getting probably most of the goal line work. Achan's gonna be there too,
And like you said, he looked
definitely.
good last year. I mean, he's 30 something, but he still looked good.
Yeah, like I said, he's gonna probably turn to dust after this year. So I don't think he holds
Yeah,
any like
he's
trade
only has
value.
1 year left, and they drafted Jalen
Except if
Wright,
he's,
which
yeah, maybe if he's like if Mostert's doing really good and Dan's still like not really competing, he might. Which by the way his team looks, he probably shouldn't be competing. Then he can maybe trade him for a pick, like a
I
second,
think that's probably what
maybe.
he's gonna look to do. If I had to
So
guess, like
yeah,
unless someone gets injured on his team, that's like we were saying before. Because if like his team's fine and he's just going throughout the year and everything's fine, and someone loses a running back, why wouldn't you try to move him for like a second or something? I'd definitely take a second round pick for Mostert.
Yeah, like Moses is crazy. He had like 300 or 400 yard games last year. Like he's still like like a 1 year. I don't see that much of a drop off unless he gets hurt. So
Yeah, and that's really yeah. But all right, where are we at here? And you went with the dude I was kind of saying about before, Ezekiel Elliott, and he's back with Dallas. I kind of like that, to be honest with you.
he's just yeah like I drafted my running backs early, so I was trying to get the rest of the positions kind of filled out there. Um, yeah, Elliott is not the same player he was. But who really is there in Dallas as a running back that you can trust, like especially at the goal line? So I think Zeke, fantasy wise, I think is a great pick there. But even if it's only going to be for a couple of years, if that, I think he's only like a 1 year deal with Dallas.
Yeah, I think so.
So as like yeah, as like an emergency, like like flex play or running back play.
Yeah, if he can find
I
the end zone and give you like 14, 15 points in a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
versus I mean, yeah, I feel like that's like if he gets 10 touchdowns this season, I think that's enough to fill that draft capital that I got him there. So, and then if it doesn't work out, I got Doddle. So I can talk about Doddle in a second. But
Oh yeah, yeah, you secured. Okay, so
I got the Dallas running back room
yep, you got that on lock as well.
as yeah, as thin as it is. But like I said, Zeke, I think with Prescott with that offense, I think he'll be like I think I can say him be still being a top 30 running back.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued to see how he'll do this year, even though I'm not a big Ezekiel Elliott fan. So, but Charbonnet got drafted after that. Then I'll go with my two running backs, Jalen Wright and Kendre Miller, and really there it's just at this point. I mean, there's not really starters left, so I mean, Ford's probably going to start for a little bit in place of Chubb until he gets healthy and maybe even after because, I mean, who knows how Chubb's going to be when he comes back. But I wasn't going to take him over the potential of Jalen Wright and Kendry, especially with, like I was saying earlier about Mostert. And you were saying, he's not only 1 year left on his contract, he's in his 30s. They drafted him, I'm sure, probably planning for the future for when Mostert's done after this year. Well, with Miami, they'll still have Achan, so that'll pretty much, if it goes according to plan, it's really just going to be Jalen Wright taking over the Mostert spot, and then they're just going to leave Achan be what he is, a playmaker.
Yeah.
And then Kendry, I mean, kind of the same thing, really, because I think Kamara only has 1 year left on his deal as well. He hasn't looked as good, so it's not impossible that Kendry still is away sometime this year and maybe even takes it, which that's the kind of the best case situation, but regardless, I mean, it's looking towards next year really and hoping hoping along with Corum really, he's in the same boat that I have 3 starters next year, and I just have to wait a year. So if that ends up happening, I'm damn happy with where I get these guys at 12 and 13 round,
Oh
the
yeah.
12th and 13th round.
Yeah. Plus, if you keep like throwing darts at those spots, like eventually one's gonna hit.
That's what,
Like
yes,
I
that's
said,
kind of what my mindset was like. Because at that point, like, and we spoke about it, Dan even said about how he was trying to get a stranglehold on the running back situation. And he's not the only one. I mean, clearly throughout this draft, like, there was teams who were drafting 3, 4 running backs before, like, I drafted one. And
yeah.
like, I mean, Trey Benson, there's a lot of guys who went pretty like early, like Najee Harris and Pacheco, like Najee and Pacheco going in round 5, like that Swift even, like that's some of these guys went kind of early compared to other places. even like Stevenson as well. Like the running backs were just going off the board rapidly. So yeah, at that point it's wait and hope for the talent, and like you were saying, and I was thinking, throw enough darts at these young guys who have really good potential and a path to start. If one or two of them works, even just one, I'm good with that. Like if Corum ends up being the starter for the Rams next year, hell yeah, I got the starter for the Rams. If Jalen Wright ends up becoming the new Raheem Mostert, fuck yeah, give me those points. Kendry Miller, if he ends up even doing somewhat of like being kind of, I wouldn't. Kamara is probably the better pass catching back, but you get what I'm saying. If he ends up being the starter, yeah, I got my guy, and I don't have to worry about it. And if more than both, if all of them work, then I got value. Tremendous value because they're still young as hell.
Plus, even like out of all the the different positions, I think that's the position where you can kind of stockpile young guys and still be competitive. Like it's not like having like that much. I don't think having a being outmatched and running back is that big of a deal.
No, like there's definitely there's definitely the possibility of my team being competitive next year because like if Kyron or someone goes down, or if Mostert goes down, A-Chain goes down, even it same with Kamara. There's times where I'm sure even if they split the workload that they're gonna have good games. And if my other players do good, like, and I have players to do that, like Hurts, Daniels, two really, like, if those dudes score a rushing touchdown a piece and give me like 25 points, and then Nakua does his thing along with Lunt, like, yeah, I could definitely see my team being competitive for sure. But that's more of a long shot compared to really what I'm thinking is gonna happen.
Gotcha.
But I'm fine with that because I loaded up. I got 2 first-round picks. If it goes south for me, I'm ready. Kind of actually prepared. Yeah, kind of. I kind of drafted that way. But yeah, like you were saying, the running back situation is one you can kind of more so than a lot of them, because if you don't have good receivers, if you have 2 good quarterbacks, 2 good running backs, but you don't have shit for receivers, you're probably not gonna win anything.
Yeah, at least not. I think wide receiver is the position to kind of fill easier, like to have a better like turnover on. But like running back, like if you don't have a guy, like then you're trying to see if like especially this draft, like a rookie draft, you only had like one dude that's probably going to be startable, like in Jonathan Brooks, like right off the bat. Like there's nobody that's going to be like a Bijan that's going to be
Nah, not this year.
the guy this year. Yeah, so
I don't think even Corum is going to be like that's really, like I was saying, it's more because Jalen and him are both rookies. It's more of like hoping for that next year and waiting, and then you hope he's the guy, because if Corum becomes the new Kyron next year, then his value, he's going to go from where I drafted him in the 9th round, and he's going to be looking more like where Kyron is, if not higher. So that's a major increase in value.
That's what I did with the other league. Like I have 2 veteran running backs that aren't gonna last a whole lot longer, so I didn't have that much depth. So I just was like, hey, if I gotta wait 1 or 2 years anyway, I might as well pick up Jalen Wright and Marshawn Lloyd.
Yes, exactly.
Guys, so.
And I like Marshawn Lloyd, actually. I think I kind of like that situation that he has with Green Bay.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be. I think him, Wright, Benson, Forum, they're all like guys that all it takes is one injury or like somebody underperforming and they're gonna take over.
But all right, let's try. I'm gonna pick this up a little bit, and I'm gonna go through this. I'm gonna go through this 13th round, and then we can kind of talk about like a few of our late round dart throws that we like, even if they're not on our team. But who'd you grab here? You drafted Franklin? Yeah, Troy Franklin. Yeah, Troy Franklin, he's with Denver. I mean, that it's a good spot to draft him there. I mean, you could have I think I'm not really a huge fan of Josh Downs. I don't know why, like I don't know. So I think I probably would have drafted Franklin over him, but he's with his college quarterback, so that's even more enticing.
Yeah. I like that. I like that kind of pairing. So if Nix ends up starting here this year, even if not right away, I like Franklin kind of being that security blanket for him at least.
Yeah, and
But
even
he's
like
also a
you said,
dominant
not
player.
this year, next year. If Nick ends up another year under
Yeah.
their belt, it could be his breakout year next year, and you don't really need him. It's not like you forced to play him.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, he, like turns out good this year, and I can maybe start him.
Yeah,
Get
yeah,
a
yeah.
few
I
spots
get you.
there. Yeah, but like I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting for him to be like fantastic, but I feel like if he can prove himself a little bit in this first year, and there's not much there to compete with. Like you have Sutton there, but who else do you
Marvin
really
Mims,
have?
that's Marvin Mims,
Mims
Sutton.
maybe.
I don't think
Yeah.
Sutton's probably going to be there for like maybe one more year or two though.
Sutton,
I can't see him
I
being there
mean,
much longer.
I can see Sutton like if Denver's not doing well, it's getting traded.
That too.
That's
And
my
if Marvin Mims and Franklin both do well, but I don't.
yeah,
It seems like Sean Payne kind of likes Sutton, so I don't know. But even
yeah,
so, like I mean, Sutton's a different kind of guy. Like Franklin and Mims are more of like it seems like the faster like speed type guys, where Sutton's more like you just kind of heave it downfield and hope he gets a contested catch.
yeah.
So
And Sutton had a lot of touchdowns last year, so he's still a
yeah,
red zone
Wilson
target.
was bombing him though, so I that's definitely gonna be a regression for sure.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't know think you really love anybody in Denver as far as the wide receivers go, but
The
if
potential is
anybody,
pretty good.
yeah, if I'm throwing a dart, I'd rather throw that dart at Franklin than Sutton or anybody else or Mims.
Hell yeah, I agree. All right, so since then, yeah, I mean Isaiah Likely, I like him. He's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one thing I was like, maybe I can grab him a little bit later
Who
here.
Likely?
That way I have the
Oh yeah,
Baltimore.
Andrews and Likely. Yeah, true. Yeah.
I was maybe gonna think about the turnaround there, but he didn't get it, so
Yeah, damn. It's like, nah, he's mine.
nah, man, he's fine.
All right, so
Really good, really good.
yeah, we'll start. Go ahead and we'll do three. No, it don't have to be like anything like your top guys, but like someone here like three dudes from like the round. Where'd we leave off? 14. So like 14. Yeah, we can do round 14 down. So like anybody down in that range, like three dudes you'd like to take a dart throw on. Doesn't have to be your guy that you drafted. It could be a guy you drafted. I know I'm probably say one or two of my guys to be honest, because I kind of like my team. But yeah, like three
Yeah.
guys round 14 and later, you'd take a dart throw on.
Definitely the first guy. I'll take this guy over and over. Is Josh Palmer.
Oh, okay, yeah, you
Uh,
saying yeah. I
he,
should have
like I
expected
said,
that though.
he's the guy. Like I said, he's gonna probably open up outside week 1 for Justin Herbert, and he's 24 years old. This dude ain't no like people thinking he's older. He's like, no, he's 24. That dude's only been in LA for like 3 years, and it's a good report. Herbert, not much competition there, like, and he's shown he can have big games. So I'm like, this dude could be like potentially for me like, I'm not even gonna just like sugarcoat it, like the steal of the draft at round what 16. Like that is really good. I'm very excited for him. Um, so, but yeah, maybe it's just me just like really being overrated on him, but I just really, really like him. Like I honestly like looking at my lineup, depending on like who gets suspended, how that lineup turns out. I could have him starting for me, like with Rasheed Rice out, and like I value him that much.
No, he
So
definitely has starting capabilities. Like that's for sure. Because even like last year and the year before, I think would have been his second year or something like that or whatever. But
mhm.
yeah, he when he had his opportunities, did pretty solid in those games because I know in redraft I picked him up in waivers. I think I wasn't. It might have been last year too, but I know the year before I picked him up or some shit like that when one dude got injured.
Yeah. This is
Mike
the
Williams,
second
because he always got banged up.
Mike Williams, yeah. And then yeah, if you want me to just go through the rest of us, one person I do like that I didn't draft is Jalen Tolbert. I think Tommy picked him up in the 21st round. I think he'll probably be starting the slot for Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, that's gonna be a pass heavy offense. So like you have Lamb there, you have Ferguson there, you have Cooks, but I feel like Tolbert could have like a breakout year and start to prove himself a little bit. So like I said, like he probably would have been he's like would have been one of my late round stashes. I didn't end up drafting Ryan Flournoy, so I like him too, but um, I think Tolbert will have the first crack at being like
Yeah, he
a
will.
starting wide receiver for Dallas. So let's see. Let's see. I do like. I did. You might be high on him too. I do like Bub Means, but I think Nate took him.
Yeah, see, I don't know too much about him. Like, I didn't like. I know he's a Pitt guy too, which is weird because like somewhat pay attention to Pitt throughout the year, but I don't really know too much about this guy.
Yeah, and then like I said, I threw some darts at wide receivers. I'd say like the bigger dart throw I would say for me would be Jacob Cowing, especially now. Like Ayuk's probably going to be out of there. Um, so it's going to be Debo, and then you got Pearsall there. And then at that point, it's like, who do you really have? Like Jawan Jennings, and then I think Cowan can potentially be uh, a sneaky late pick.
I mean, if he ends up being the number 3 on San Francisco next year, like that's pretty solid pickup.
Yeah, he had like what I think like 13 touchdowns in college
No, he was a
2
beast.
years
He
ago.
was really good.
Like I think he was hurt last year, but I really think that like anybody who's got like a good like an offense in front of them, like they have a chance to break out. So, but yeah, those are probably my three guys. Is yeah, Palmer, Tolbert, and Cowan.
I like the cowing one. Alright. Yeah, Bub Means. I don't really know too much about that guy. I'll have to look into him a little bit, I guess. All right, but and one of my guys actually, and I'm not gonna talk about him again. I will talk about Pop Douglas though. He's a little early, round 16. He's not like a major like people know about him, but he did really like as far as last year. He was the only dude on that squad. He did really well, even when he wasn't getting targets. He was beating the DBs. He was getting wide open. The thing is with him, I found this out. Drake May and Josh Downs, when they were teammates, apparently Drake May loved Josh Downs. And who plays the same position that Josh Downs was playing? Pop Douglas. So if you can give me, if Pop ends up being a Drake May's guy, even out of the slot, yeah, it could be great. It could be great. And getting him in round 16, I don't know where he actually, like, what his ADP is, but I know it wasn't too far off of where he got drafted in ours. But yeah, Pop
Yeah,
Douglas, I really like him as a dart throw. I mean, they had the two rookies, Polk and damn, what's his name? Baker.
Baker.
Yeah. And I mean, they have Juju, but it's Juju. I'm not really, yeah, whatever.
GG.
Yeah, that's how I feel at this point. But actually, speaking of another dart throw that is on my team, I'll pick the last one that's not on my team. And he's actually the guy I draft after him, AOC, Aiden O'Connell. I mean, the fact is he got thrown into a bad situation last year. He still ended up performing quite a few games, there's a few games where he balled out, especially the one game against the Chargers, which I don't know, it's the Chargers. Their defense was shit, but he still carved them up. 4 touchdowns, I think, in like the first half. He had another game against Indy 20 points, Denver 17. I mean, he had some good games, and he was a rookie last year. After being thrown into a bad situation, it seemed like he got better. I'm not too worried about Gardner Minshew because he's not someone who teams are fighting for him to be the starter. So if AOC can just show, like, if he's on par with Minshew throughout training camp, which apparently none of them have really separated themselves too much. So if AOC gets the nod and he ends up being the guy all year, you're getting a starting quarterback, even if like I use him at a super flex, if someone like anything, because if you can get a quarterback who puts up 17 points and you can put him in your super flex, that could be very useful. And getting him as late in the draft is where he's falling at is great value. And Tommy drafted him actually before AOC, which was kind of crazy because I think I would have drafted AOC over Minshew. But that's just me. Yeah, I really like Officer Farva. Okay, so let's see someone who's not on my team that I really like. And I know there was someone, because I was looking to maybe try to trade for him, I think. Let's see if I could spot him. Oh, you know what? Actually, now I'll talk about this guy because I think I have him in I think I picked him up in the other league. Tyler Conklin, the guy you got on your squad, tight end.
Yeah.
If Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, supposedly him and Conklin have like a bit of a connection. And apparently it was building last year when Aaron Rodgers first got there. We didn't get to see it obviously because he got injured within like the first 3 plays. But I mean, he's the starting tight end there. And it's Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers even like a little bit, Conklin's going to be a good tight end who's probably going to put up decent numbers and maybe even get into the top 15. I mean, and you can get him around round 20? That's great value, I think.
He's always like there for me as far as like he's one of the guys I always draft. So like I said, last year he was like still like a top 20 tight end even with terrible.
He gets catches.
Quarterback
play. He was 18, 16,
Yeah.
16. So he almost broke into the top 15. So yeah, like I said, he's with healthy Aaron Rodgers. He could break into that top 15 this year.
Yeah, he can be a red zone target. Like I know Rodgers not going to tight ends a lot.
Yeah, and he didn't get touchdowns last year. I don't think he scored at all last year, if I remember correctly.
No, he did not.
Yeah, none.
And like I said, he still finished like, like
18 with no
like,
touchdowns.
He wasn't like, like he was somebody you could probably like hopefully start and get like 10 points out of, and like a bye week or something like that for your other guy. So. Like I like him. Like I don't see any problems with him. Like I think Chig's more of the hopeful upside play, but for like a safe guy.
Oh, you're talking about your other tight end that you drafted, Chigs.
Yeah, like if Chig goes down for me, like if Chig doesn't play well.
I like Conklin, bro. I was kind of upset you drafted him because I was looking to get him. I was like, I knew there was a guy somewhere in the draft, like, and there was actually a few guys, but. When I saw him, I was like, Conklin was a guy because I picked him up in the other league. I have some hopes for Conklin this year, and he could be a good pickup, like you said. Just if Chigs goes down, or even if Chigs doesn't do good, you could just use Conklin. I mean, if Conklin does good and he puts up like it with the tight end premium and gets like a little bump and like an extra point a game, and he can get like 14, 15 points or some shit. Like, he's potentially a flex start.
He gets some targets. Like, I think it's the only reason he didn't play better was
the touchdowns.
Zach Wilson and
that too. Yes, I mean the Jets. They're Jets. Yeah.
They were terrible.
So
they gave it to Brees Hall, and that was about it. So yeah, like you said, him and Rodgers already have a good rapport. So
I like it.
I like it.
All right. So yeah, next time hopefully Dan ends up fixing or getting his. Well, he said he ordered that cable, so we should be good next time. Sadly, he wasn't able to stay the whole time because he yeah, for the people who did know, or if anybody listens, he needed to get his heads or his computer wasn't loading properly. He couldn't use the mic with his phone, and then he tried to use his phone, and it just sounded choppy. So, sadly, he had to leave. But next time, hopefully, we have everybody together again, and yeah, talk some more Dynasty football or fantasy football in general. And soon enough, we'll actually be planning, like, well, actually, you already started doing that, planning for our redraft.
Yeah, we started like looking at a venue. Looks like it might be Dave and Buster's.
Hee I
It's
kind of
too
like
early
the
right
Dave
now.
and Buster's idea, though, because, like, I'm not a huge
Yeah, 'cause
golf person.
you
I can see
could-
that being fun, but I did hear that it was quite far because I think my sister said something about it the other day.
It's just it's in Homestead, so
What, Top
for
Golf?
Dave and Buster's. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Top Golf is like more towards like western northern side of Pittsburgh.
That's what I was, yeah, okay, yeah.
That's why I was like, but Will had suggested it. I'm like, I'll look into it, and they do hold like parties in that. So
Yeah, Dave and
people like
Buster's is
golf-
not very far away from me. Like, I was just there.
But- yeah, Dave and Buster's, or I added Permanis in there.
And they have
last
huge
night, 'cause you
TVs with those
suggested it.
private tables and shit. Because I was in there the other day and I was looking at it because no one was really in there. We went early. And yeah, those one tables where it's sectioned off with those TVs, that would be a perfect space for that.
Yeah,
And then if,
so-
like, when it's not our pick, we can go play some games and shit and then come back.
yeah, so we'll leave the poll open for that. in our
Yeah, we
group
can wait a
chat,
little bit.
and-
Because I think it's still
See you then.
relatively close.
Yeah, plus we'll have to pick a time. We'll have to pick
That
which
too,
day people
yeah.
want to do it. Because I do want to be.
When
ahead of
does
it. I
the
wanna,
season actually, like, the regular season? When is that? Is it September?
It's usually like the first or second week of September. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So yeah, we still have like a month, a little longer.
Yeah. So
Normally
yeah,
we do
play
it
about-
like a week before to get the best out of it and know, like, yeah, the most information you could possibly get before the season, and then you can make your best decisions then for the redraft.
yeah. Yeah, because like plus preseason you don't want people to get hurt.
Exactly. It's
sucks
just
if you're a
best.
redraft league
It's
and-
better because you know everything. Like I said, you have all the information. Who's probably gonna start? Who has like maybe the greatest potential to do something?
Yeah, so I think that just makes it better for everybody. So
Hmm I think so as
Yeah.
well.
I think just planning it, I just want to be a little bit ahead of it this time, just
Mhm.
because.
If
not
it's a new
sure.
place as well,
Plus, you want people to like be able to, if we're doing something like that, you want
you gotta
everybody to
plan
be there,
ahead. Yeah.
and you just want to have people just kind of get off work and that kind
Make
of
sure. Yep. Make sure that you're available. I
we
dig
can
it.
trips or
It's
anything
gonna
like
be
that, so-
fun. I'm always excited for our redrafts.
Oh yeah, getting everybody together at least one time out of the year and
Hell yeah, dude.
do something, and then like I said, I know we have like I think Nate's not going to be a part of the redraft this year, but he's still invited. So
What, does he not want to do it, or is he just not in the redraft?
no, we're full because Melissa's still. Because
Oh yeah, that's right.
he came in.
I forgot about
Dynasty,
that. Yeah, he took
unless we
Melissa's
wanna-
spot.
Unless you want to expand it and add one more person on top of that, but
Yeah, going 13
I'll see what-
we can't do that. We'd have to go
but I
14.
got the. Yeah, which.
It's a
I'm all
lot,
for
but
it.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
I think as far as the rosters go, like I don't think there would be that much of a drop in player value and everything. So
No, adding two people, if we had two people and then don't expand the rosters, I think we'd be fine still. I think we'd do all right. It'd be a little more difficult because you would have to plan for that, but it'd definitely give a nice twist to the league this year for sure. But
Yeah,
we can, I mean, if you can ask him if he wants to do it, if he wants to, I mean, then we can start to discuss if we want to expand to 14 and then obviously ask everybody else and all that shit. So, yeah, I mean, it's a possibility.
I don't see why not. Yeah, making it a 14-team league.
Cool.
Everybody's always showing up, so
Yeah, I
if,
mean,
like,
if he
you
wants to
had,
do
like-
it and he's gonna show up, why not? I mean, well, the thing is, Zach, what's going on with Zach? Because he hasn't even paid me back for Dynasty yet, and So, like, is he gonna play?
I have no idea. Nobody
I'd
said
imagine he
they.
would.
Yeah, maybe just hit him up and see what he's up to. I would say if you were looking for that money, I'd say you can maybe do it.
No,
Be
I'm like,
hey,
I'm not. It was Dynasty for the Dynasty. Remember, I paid you, and then I just said, "Hey, pay me back," because he said something. He didn't have a job or whatever. He was having troubles.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
which that's fine.
it's
I'm
been
not
a few
worried
months
about it.
since
I'm
I've
just
seen him.
saying he didn't pay me back yet, so I don't know. Like, if like I don't want to get too much into it. I just don't know if because even if he does have a job and everything, it does take a minute to recover. It's not like he'd just be like, "Yeah, I got a job now. Here's some money."
Yeah. I mean, it's not a lot, like a big ask. Like I think $30.
No, it was $30. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me
I
check
just
on him.
don't want him to
See
be
what
in the
he's
hole
doing.
for both leagues is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, I just don't want him to like not show up or anything and
That too.
not
That
pay.
too. Because, yeah, I mean, I just don't know what's going on with him, really, is basically what I'm saying. So,
Yeah. So I say I would hit him up just to check on him and
cool.
see where he's at.
Awesome sauce. All right. Well, let's wrap this up. And I don't know when the next time we'll actually be doing this, but as soon as possible. And now that we're doing this, we have plans that possibly can do this shit in the morning early. Maybe get some more videos in. But yeah.
I'm typically down. I don't know if I would always do it this early, but
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
yeah,
I'm just saying,
I
as
do
far
like.
as like, for if anybody actually watches this shit, they can maybe count on some more videos coming their way,
Yeah. Sounds
which is
good.
always good, and especially talking more fantasy football. But all right, yeah, if anybody does watch this, thank you very much. And do you want to say anything before we get out of here, Brownie?
I can't believe I woke up at 6 a.m. just to talk about the same draft we just talked about last week.
I
How
know.
dare you, Brett? No, I'm kidding.
Uh,
I enjoyed it. So
yeah, sorry,
always
man.
enjoyed it. No,
Yeah,
yeah. Thank you everybody for listening in. If you didn't get a chance to listen the first time, if it's a little choppy for you,
yeah.
hopefully this is better quality and you can enjoy.
It definitely will be better quality, that's for sure. But yeah, all right. Have a good one, everyone, and thank you, Brown.
Absolutely, man.
Have a good one.
Peace.
Peace.